friends. How are you today? Today I'm going to go over additional properties. We're going to focus on adding 3 or more numbers. So make sure you have your packet in front of you. It's section 9-3, looks exactly like this. And on the bottom it should say page 113. 113. I'm going to go over how to add 3 or more numbers using partial sums and kind of column addition, basic algorithm. And we're going to review those 2 types today. So let's focus on using partial sums first. So we're going to look at the problem that they actually give you on your packet, which is 137 plus 201 plus 109. And if you notice in lighter gray, you have the numbers 430, 17. Well, how did they get those? Well, they looked at their hundreds column first. So 2 plus 1 gives you 4, which is where they came up with the 400. Then they focus on their tens column, which was just the 3. So 3 tens is 30. And then from there, they added their ones. 9 plus 1 gives you 10. And then 10 plus 7 more gives you 17. Then once they neatly arranged those, they added them. 7 plus nothing gives you 7. 3 plus 1 gives you 4. And then 4 in the hundreds by itself is 4, which gives you the final sum of 447. So let me go over how to do this. So like I said before, you're going to focus on the hundreds first. So let's add up our hundreds column. 2 plus 1 gives you 4. And remember, we're focusing on the hundreds, so it would be 400. Now let's take a look at our tens. We have our tens column, which is 3 plus 1, which is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. Remember, 10, if I have 6 tens, that would be 60. And then from there, we're going to add our ones. We have 4 plus 8 plus 2. Oh my goodness, I noticed that there's a way to make an easy number. Do you see it? Hopefully you see that the 8 and the 2 can make a 10, and 10 plus 4 gives you 14. So now you can add those up, and it's a lot nicer and easier because you're working with those easy numbers. 4 plus nothing is 4. Then you look at your tens, you have 6 plus 1, which gives you 7. And then there's nothing else in the hundreds, which just gives you 4. 474. Let's keep moving forward. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at this. We're going to focus on what happens if there's 4. So if you look at your page in front of you and take a look at number 6, oh my goodness, it's asking us to add 4 numbers for number 6. So let's take a look. Let's focus on those hundreds again. So you have 3 plus 1, which gives you 4, and then 3 more. What does that give you? 7. So you should have 700. Because remember, yes, we're adding just basic numbers, but remember, we're talking about 700. We're in the hundreds column. So now let's focus on our tens. Whoa! 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. I bet I can make an easy number. Wow, 8 plus 2 gives me 10. 10 plus 6 gives me 16. And 1 more gives us 17. Now remember, it's not just 17. We're in the tens column, meaning we have 17 tens, which is equivalent to 170. Don't forget to add that 0 to make it tens. And then last but not least, we're focusing on our ones, which you're adding 7 plus 5 plus 2. Now remember, 7 plus 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2 gives me 7. 7 plus 7 gives me 14. I always try to make patterns. Now I have 14 for my ones. So I have 700 plus 170 plus 14. Work on your tens first, or ones first, I'm sorry. 4 plus nothing is 4. Now move to your tens. 7 plus 1 gives you 8. And then last but not least, 7 plus 1 gives you 8. So your total sum is 884. And that, my friends, is a way to solve it, adding 3 or more numbers using partial sums. Now let's move on to basic standard addition or basic algorithm. So adding 3 numbers the traditional way with carrying. So let's take a look at focusing on our ones first. So I'm going to add the ones, and they call it the column addition because basically they want you to make sure your numbers are set straight, nice and neat in a column form. So if you notice, all my ones are nice and neat down, all my tens are nice and neat in a tens column, and all my hundreds are nice and neat in a column. If you need to draw lines to space them out, please do so. All right, let's focus on our ones first. 9 plus 1 plus 7. Anyone see a way I can make an easy number? Hopefully you notice the 9 plus the 1 makes 10, and 10 plus 7 gives us, you guessed it, 17. Now I'm going to add my tens. I notice it's just a 3, but wait a second. 9 plus 1 gave me 10 plus 17. Don't forget, I need to carry that 1 over. So it's not just 3. Don't forget to carry your 1 over from before. So 3 plus 1 actually gives us 4. Okay? And then 2 plus 1 gives us 3. And then 3 plus 1 more gives us 4. Okay? So don't forget, if you ever have a number that needs to carry over to the next column, don't forget to do that. I know we worked on that. So let's take a look at practicing again. Okay? So we're going to take a look at this very first one, 234 plus 118 plus 122. It's nice and neat. All my numbers are in a column. So I'm going to look at the very first one. Is there a way I can make an easy number in this column? You guessed it, 8 plus 2, which gives me 10. And then 10 plus 4 gives me 14. Now remember, 14. I'm not going to write 14 down here. No way. I'm not going to write 14 and carry my 1 and make the 14. No, no, no. That 1 goes carrying over to the 10s. And the reason we do that is 14 is equivalent to 110, which is up here, and 4 ones. Remember, we want to keep our ones in a column, so we carried our tens. So now we carried our tens over to the tens column, so don't forget to add that 1 at the end. So now I'm going to add 3 plus 1, which is 4, plus 1 more is 5, plus 2 more, 5, 6, 7. So now I have 7. Okay, so now I need to add my last one. I didn't need to carry anything because I only had 7 tens. I'm not moving into my hundreds. So now I can add my hundreds. 2 plus 1 plus 1 gives me 2, 3, 4. So now I have 474. Another way that I've taught my class, and I'm sure other teachers have as well, is breaking it apart. So just focus on adding 2 numbers first. So I'm going to work on adding these 2 numbers first. 234 plus 118. I'm going to work on that. And then I'm going to work on adding in that third number. Okay, so that third number is right there. So let's see what I got. So 234 plus 118, add my ones first. 8 plus 4, well, I know 4 can be split into 2 and 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10, and then 2 more is 12. I notice I have 12. I'm not going to carry that 1 down here. No, siree, Bob. I'm going to put it on my tens column. So now I'm going to add my tens column. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. And then all I have to do is add my hundreds. 2 plus 1 is 3. Well, I have 352. That's not the same answer. Oh, duh. I need to add my last number. So I'm going to take my sum from these two and add the last number, which is 112. 2 plus 2 gives me 4. 5 plus 2 gives me 7. And then 3 plus 1 gives me 4. Look at that. I have the same exact answer. I just did it a little bit differently. So now I'm going to focus on how I can use standard algorithm or addition to solve my very last one. And it's just like your number 6 when you add 4 numbers. Yes, you can line them all up just like this, or I'll show you another way in a minute. So go ahead and work on adding your ones column first. 7 plus 5 plus 2. Well, I know 5 plus 2 is 7, and 7 plus 7 gives me 14. I'm going to put the 4 down here, and I'm going to carry that 1 to my tens column. So now I have 6 plus 1, 8, 2, and 1. So I have 6 plus 1 plus 8 plus 2. I see that magic numbers, those 8 and those 2s. Remember, that's my 10. And I know that 6 plus 1 is 7. So 10 plus 7 is 17. And 1 more is 18. 18. So there's my 8, and I'm going to carry my 1 over again. So now I have my hundreds column I need to add. So there's 3 plus 1, and there's another 3 and a 1, which makes 4. So I have 4 plus 4, which gives me 8. You should have gotten the answer of 884. Now, this last way I'm going to show you is breaking this down into smaller chunks. So I'm going to focus on these 2 numbers, and I'm going to add them first. So I'm going to add 367 plus 180. So I'm going to add the first two first. Okay. And then I'm going to add these two numbers, 25 plus 312. And whatever those sums are, yes, you see them down here, I'm going to add those. So let's take a look. Let's work on the first one first. So I have 367 plus 180. Well, 7 plus 0 gives me 7. That was nice. And then I have 8 plus 6. 8 plus 6 is what? Hopefully you shout it out. 14. Ooh, I'm not going to bring that one down. I'm going to move that 14, that 1 over to my hundredths column. So there's my 14 broken apart. So there's my 4. And now I'm going to add my hundredths. 3 plus 1 gives me 4. Plus 1 more gives me 5. So there's that 567. So I'm taking the sum and I'm saving it. So now I'm going to add this section over here. 5 plus 2 gives me 7. 2 plus 1 gives me 3, and then 3 plus nothing gives me 3. So now these are my two numbers. So I took the sums of these two numbers, added first, then these two numbers, and then I'm going to add them together. Yes, it's a little bit more work, but if you notice, it's nice and more neater because I'm not adding all 4 in a row. I'm kind of breaking it up. So now I'm going to add these. Well, I have 7 plus 7, which gives me 14. I got to carry my 1. Ooh, I like where I'm going to add this 1 to this 3. So now I have 4 plus 4, which gives me 8. There we go. And then I'm going to add 5 plus 3, which gives me 8. So I still, as you can see, got the same exact answer. Hopefully this helped you solve all the problems on that page 113. And I can't wait to see how you guys do.